What's up? Welcome to the stream. Let's give out some Apex today, shall we? Let's get the numbers up. There's no reason I shouldn't have at least 100 people watching this. There's absolutely none. What's up? How's it going, people? Hopefully you guys are doing well. Oh yeah. I'm Casey Kasem. Okay. What is the link to this? Let's see. Doom. Do. Oh. Yeah, like it was about 2 days ago when the volume picked up on the new ones, so I just deleted the old one. It'll find its footing in the new contract. Boom, 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 boom. Let me check it out. Hold up. Oil. Chat. I was meaning to ask you, because I didn't get a chance to hear your voice till like this week, but there was oh wow, the oil. Yeah, that was pretty clean. The when was the last time you've turned on like a old CRT television? Yeah, those box type. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm asking. When was the last time? Can you remember? You haven't even when wait, into the 2000s you never had like a Trinitron, like a HD whatever, like the big ones? Just any of the non-flat screen ones, the old the ones that used the electron gun. Oh, well, basically any non-flat screen is using a cathode ray tube, which is why it's CRT. It's using electronics and not pixels. I see. What did you use after that? So, I don't know, I'm just wondering. This is my Rolodex of all the TVs and models and makes. No, it's just like It basically switched over in like 2004 was like when really they stopped making them, I guess, like 20 years ago. I would say. Okay, so you moved on to plasma after that. Yeah, plasma were flat screen, so yeah, that would have been about right. But yeah, it was like I haven't turned one on since I came to Japan over 20 years ago. So it was like I bought a used one just so I could test it and compare it to my upscaler, like if whether I'm getting it right. But anyway, like it was so nostalgic to turn it on because you hear this like that weird when it turns on, and then it has this high pitched thing, and then your arm hairs all stand up from the static. I was like, wow, this is I remember this, but it just seems strange that like that was normal for humanity for like, 70 years or something. It's like you could hear people's TV in the other room. Like after I turned it off, you could still hear your ears ringing from the high pitch frequency or whatever. Basically. Be like, Billy, come home before dinner. Claiming that the patriarchy's, out to get them. That was such a classic show, too. Ready, fight! Ow! Family Ties, Full House. Girl Boss. That was the first Karen. Or in a van while they go cross country. The funny thing is like people on Twitch got like Tectone, I guess his name is. He got banned for saying that on Twitch, but it's like, what else would you call them? That's literally what it means. They should call it dick cum instead of income. Instead of your income, your dick cum. It's not far off. What I don't get is like, is he even American? I was under the impression he's not. So it's like you're letting a foreigner run the biggest city in America? Like, what's that about? Like, I'll never be able to vote in Japan, and I'm fine with that. I'm not Japanese. Well, it'll just get all the billionaires to move out of New York. Like, what are they going to do when they try to tax billionaires that don't reside there anymore? So kind of what happened to California. Yeah, whenever you have somebody to, like, take money from. Yeah, I don't get the whole, like, I get that people don't start on the same footing, and, like, if you're coming into this at a deficit and then you can't really make ends meet and everything's being taxed, capitalism looks pretty bad. So, like, you know, you just look at who has all this money and you're like, screw those guys, let's take theirs, you know. Like, if you're young and impressionable, it looks kind of like, I remember when Ron Paul was running and he was talking about the gold standard and everything way back when, and the whole, like, we are the 1%. Like, that was the real enemy at the time, was the banks and the bailouts and all that. And then they started to get us divided with their stupid identity politics and the, you know, the kind of like race baiting and the you know, the whole colonization, like down with whitey and the patriarchy, and they used all this identity politics stuff to kind of like get us to divide ourselves rather than unite against who the real problem is, which is those people that are just basically printing money from nothing with the fractional reserve bank. Like with the whole Enron thing and the bailouts and everything, and like Obama tried to deleverage the banks and like said, you know, there's like 27 trillion or something, or there, at that time it was like 3 trillion that was over leveraged by JP Morgan and all these companies, and they tried to make these rules like you have to have assets equivalent, and then all it did was make them like, now we're like, our market's over leveraged to the tune of like 27 trillion. So it's like just money doesn't even exist, and they're like just hoping there's never a wind to blow the house of cards down, you know. And that's why every time a contract expires, it just expires at a higher price and just keeps going higher. It's like, there's no such thing as a pullback. What pullback? What are you talking about? It's just total, like, fabricated nonsense. I mean, that's... when you know how fractional reserve banking works, you understand how, like, ridiculous the entire system actually is anyway. Like, you have $1 in the bank, so I can loan out, like, 10 times that. What the heck does that mean? Like, why? Why do they get to print money out of thin air at the banks? And then they can loan it out with interest, so it's like, what? Yeah, when I worked at the bank for 5 years or however long it was like you get to see how they really, how the sausage is made, you know, like they really make their money on overdraft fees and account charges per month for not keeping up with their convoluted rules about minimum balances and number of times visiting the bank and all that stuff they get you to sign on the dotted line for their supposed free direct deposit account. And it's like, it's not free. You didn't read the dotted line. And it's the amount of people like crying because they hit you for every overdraft they charge you $30. So the person barely making ends meet is the person that gets charged like $200 in overdraft fees, and they can't pay the rent and everything. And I would always work my ass off to try to override that, like take it to the manager and be like, come on, man, they're, you know, they come in every week, they just didn't know. But it's like they prey off of like people's ignorance and stealing their money. It's kind of fucked. And then the bank like had all these sales goals, like you get this many credit cards and mortgages and all this and customer service bonuses, and they had all these quarterly and monthly bonuses for employees, and they would, if we met them, we would go on these cruises and stuff. It was like, damn. And they give you points from a catalog to like buy stuff. It was like, this is like Amway. Because it was highly competitive, because people would just like go down the street to Wachovia and open an account there or whatever. Say what? Yeah, and that's why they all have trust in their name. They're like, trust me, bro, I got this. I got the balance. Don't make me prove it. It's all a big like psyop to like get you to give them your money so they can make money off it. But it's like the boomer generation is also one of those things that pushed up everything. Like all of the boats rose to that generation and the ebbs and flows in their lives. So now that it's the ebbing of their life, like everything's going down basically, because they're all draining it back out to their pensions and everything.
Come on. Come and get me. Ready. Fight. Up the glass. Up the glass.
Yeah, and it's like that was all because they created the fabricated economy in their generation. So like their whole like 2.5 kids in the house and having a boat or whatever, it all like went with the comfort of their lives. So everything, including now with like, what about the pension? What about, you know, that's all to make them feel they don't care about how their kids are. They're like, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. But it's like the house, like my parents bought a house for like $80K or whatever in like the 80s, near, like 10 minutes from the Pentagon. And then it's like, now it's like $500,000 or something. It's like probably none or like a handful. That's crazy. What's also, you can't go into the hearts of people and make them motivated if they're not motivated but intrinsically. It's like, hey, get a job. It's like, what if they don't want to? Yeah, I don't really, like, I never got on the whole, like, hatred of certain characters. Like, I never really got dislike for anyone, really. Like, I can see through the, like, the team play of those things. So, like, when they started, the left started hating on Elon Musk, I was like, I can kind of see what you mean, but not enough to, like, be like, screw him, rah, you know. It's like, also, he, like, tries his best to help as within reason. Like, nobody makes you have to give your money away yet. Like, you don't have to. So whatever he wants to do with that, it's up to him. And if he's, like, helping Ukraine and giving them that Starlink or whatever, but then he doesn't want them to be offensive with it, that's also fair play, you know? He doesn't want to be, like, involved in politics side of things in that regard anyway, but yeah, it's just so funny. I mean, like, that's kind of why I love watching trading and stuff, because it's like, it's a human it's a graph, like how ants behave in a hive mind, right? And they go off this scent and pheromone of where the trail of breadcrumbs literally and figuratively is. They follow the scent. Like, this is like the scent of humanity. It's like our fear and greed and ignorance graph, and you're just watching it, like, and it's all its glory of how fake it is just keep going up and up and up and up, and like this like abundance mindset of like how we never need to pull back, you know. It's just, it's hilarious. It's glorious in how like serious everyone takes it, but it's just totally nonsensical. Well, that stuff does matter. Like, there's a whole full moon indicator for a reason, you know? Yeah, I mean, that stuff does, you know, if even a placebo effect, it does something to affect it. The birthday book was pretty good. You ever read that one? It's pretty thick. I think so, where it has a page on each, like 2 pages on each day. It's pretty accurate. I mean, there was no entertainment for thousands and thousands of years. We just looked up to the stars. That was our, you know, TV. The whole zodiac and all that stuff. Yeah, that was a good book. I would always bust it out at, you know, or have it on the coffee table. And then when somebody comes by, I'm like, hey, what's your birthday? And then I just like open it to the page and say, ever here reads that? And they're always like, holy fucking shit. Cause it's like, yeah, exactly. Cause it always like, it's not one of those things where it tells you both sides. It's like, it's kind of right. Now they just talk to ChatGPT about it. Like, hey, what's my horoscope? Everything is like, it's like a glossy veneer. Like I track my nutrition, and then sometimes it just forgets what day it is randomly. And I'm like, why'd you log it as Thursday? And they're like, oh, you're totally right and correcting me there. It's Friday, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, how could you forget that? So like sometimes it just straight up bungles like some stuff that shouldn't. And I'm sure people just like don't even notice. Oh, for that birthday book? Yeah, it was a good book. That's cool. I will check it out. The waning moon, the waxing gibbon. Well, it makes sense that there would be some inkling of effect, just, you know, however imperceptible. Just like you would get like seasick on a boat from waves that are, you know, not perceptible, but it makes you sleepy or whatever. Like, I'm sure there's things that would make you more apt to feel a certain way, perhaps, and you're not even aware of it consciously. I've seen a lot of Darren Brown, so probably. I remember somebody did that in high school. They were like in psychology and they had this take this test and gave the results and it was like written. It's like you're some you're sometimes you do your best to communicate with others, but often like the solitude of being in yourself when you want to relax. And it's like it's saying things that everyone would agree to, you know. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much like there is a thing, there's like a hunch, there's like a bunch of nonverbals that we give off that people are, we try to read between lines on. Stellium. There's also the House of the Dragon. I'm just trying to make a reference to Game of Thrones. Homath said he got it from Ken Wilber, who I'm sure got his from the esoteric stuff. Because I remember listening to Ken Wilber back in the day when, like, there was a bunch of, like, Art Bell stuff. Like, somebody recorded all of that and put it on YouTube. So I was like, in the early days of YouTube, I was deep into like listening to all that stuff, like old recordings of Art Bell. The early days of YouTube were like you'd have to like look for stuff, like it wouldn't recommend you anything. So you felt like you're cool for like finding gems. Fun fact about the kanji for Pluto is May, which is also the same kanji they use in meditation. And it's also your third eye. That's why Mercury's 88 days for 1 year, Saturn's 28 years, and Earth 365 days. That's why we have rings on our finger. They used to worship the ring of Saturn because like a lifetime would be one trip around Saturn. That's why they were like, Lo Saturnalia, like Christmas was worship of Saturn. They called it Saturnalia. I didn't know that. Shotgun wedding. Even in like Christmas being the whole like, you know, birthday of the sun, they had this expression like Dies Natalis Solis Invicti, like happy birthday to the unconquered sun. Do 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 do. Dies Natalis Solis Invicti. Ut supra, ut infra, astra inclinant sed non obligant. reflector sine quero suprosa charonta movebo. And the jitters begin. I am pretty tired. It's been a long week, but I'm good. I want to give out some Apex if you guys want to leave the tab of the stream open in the background. You don't have to watch, you could just leave it open. And then comment yesterday's video, and then I can just give out some free evals. Sagittarius. Yeah, that's exactly it. That is exactly the way you should be. Like, as soon as you try to impose your will on the market, you're losing. It's about being able to go with the flow. Here, I have this, like, thing that I did a long time ago. Let me see if I can post it. There we go. Let's see. This one. Dun, dun, dun. Doom, 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 doom. Yeah, Office Space is definitely, I remember that. That was a classic. One more minute. Got 113 up at 24,800 that we could sweep with a continuation burst. At least similar to what we were talking about yesterday, how it went up before it dropped. You got a point of interest at 836.50. It's a kind of flush of the swing high. Let's see where she goes. Super trend holding on the 2-minute cloud as well. And 10 seconds. Getting some sell side people getting out before the market opens. Here we go. And we're off. We're off to see the wizard. We're getting some divergence on ES. ES is kind of going lower while NQ is trying to pop the highs a little bit. Now NQ following. Mm-hmm. Yeah, ES looks pretty heavy, so currently there's two buyers at 768 and 770. How does it treat these guys? Currently punishing them. Yes, testing the low some more. Short. NQ creating a channel, and it's starting to reject the top of that channel. Yep. ES also at VWAP right now. And it's been pretty one directional. Got a few laddered orders down for resting at 735 to 730 if it sweeps the lows. Yes, just kind of holding the VWAP. Looks like it's gonna like stab down. You just got a 70 lot buyer that they could absorb at 752. And the absorption is real. At least for now. The stab to the 730s looking more likely than not. Another 70 lot buyer at 743. So far the buyers are weak, but yep, not rewarding them at all. Sweep to the 730s up next. Getting a push up on ES2 at the VWAP. Yeah, I wish it wasn't so delayed. I don't know how to do anything about that. They defended that volume point and control pretty nicely, that shelf. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, that was a pretty nice push up. So it looks like this could be the telegraphed push to now sweep the highs at 800. We did have a volume imbalance on the 1,000 tick that we could touch and go on. Let's see if that lines up with anything. Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Top of the range from the pre-market. You got 1,000 lot spoofer on ES at 6702. Do they go sweep them? The spoofer wants it to go down. He went on vacation with his wife, I think. That's what he said. Yep. Mm-hmm. Nice. Every day can be a vacation if you want it to be. Ooh, they just filled that 1,000 lot. Looks like there's some buyer strength then if they've just eliminated the spoofer. Have a good one. Enjoy the weekend. All right. Have a good one. Peace. If you guys want to hop on to my YouTube and drop a comment on yesterday, we'll try to give out some Apex at the turn of the hour in 10 minutes. We'll make it quick so we don't waste your time. All you gotta do is show just a little bit of support. So they swept the 1,000 lot at 67.02, which shows a little bit of weakness in the suppression. So the buy looks to be potentially the play. So a slingshot to the upside for 500, Alex. Sweep that 800, 111 lot on NQ. Boom, boom. Yeah, we got it. Ooh, the sweep to the 800s just came. Boom. Cleared all the resting orders. Gobble, gobble. So that was a good read of like seeing the spoofer get taken and seeing that as a slingshot. They gobbled that guy on ES, and that showed a little bit of weakness in the sellers. We're now at 2K in aggressive delta, so the buyers are turning the sellers into buy side. Once again, we'll give you guys 10 minutes to drop your comments on yesterday's video to enter for free Apex evals. Where was the 853 lots? Is that on ES? And Q, where? Oh, 2, 4, 6, 8. I see. In total, the whole sweep was 800. Gotcha. Yeah. It just went and just took all the resting orders. And so the point of interest is 836.50 for a swing high sweep. That's the point of interest I had from the beginning. 836.50, 20 points above the high of yesterday. Let's see what it does up there. 10-minute cloud was holding. Yeah, this curvature just held. And it's just going off to the races. Gonna close the hour strong, it looks like. They laid the trap with the double whammy and boom. Oh, thanks, Ilhadi. Yeah. Is this the yesterday one? Yeah, I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. We got 8 entered thus far. So we'll give out 2 today. So you got a 2 and 8. Or 1 in 4 chance thus far, because you can't win 2 in a row. I guess it would be 2, still 1 in 7 then. Sorry, my math is not mathing. Let's give out 2. It's Friday. Gotta be enjoying the weekend somehow. Pulling back on some sell side. It went right to the high, but I don't believe that it's done. We'll see how it reacts 20 points above that. 836.50. Next point of interest. This just looks like a pullback. Alright, let's pull up the YouTube comment selector and get ready to pick some winners. Got 5 minutes to basically put your comment in for the link that Ohadi pasted. Yesterday's video. Uh-huh. That's the way, I like it. Let's just play some music for the last. Okay. You can still enter, right? You can just comment. Yeah. But I don't need you to enter. Good luck on the meeting. Thanks for stopping me. You're welcome. It's the battle for the wick. The hourly wick. The battle. The Wiccan. The Wiccans. They want to see that wick. Bears want to see it as a closed down wick, and the bulls want to be like, no. And then there's always that. The Wiccan. The hourly candle in Bitcoin too. Oh no, the audio. I forgot. There we go. I fixed it. Thanks for pointing it out. Gosh darn Wavelink. Making itself incompatible with my paid effects after they worked for 2 years with no problem. Getting some sell side hits. These are likely stops of the longs. One more minute. Retesting value area high and the volume point of control. Getting a lot of orders filled here. Hundreds. On both sides. Minus 200 in negative delta, so could be a little slingshot. We'll see. Slingshot to the upside. Indeedly doodly. All right, let's do the giveaway. All right, drawing number 1 about to start. Last chance to get in. Here we go. How many comments do we got? Anything goes. We got 12. Okay, so you got a 1 in 12 chance. Here we go. Pick a winner. Eval number 1 goes to Mameta. Mameta P7V. Congratulations. Booyah. First eval to Mameta P7V. Who's that? Okay. Next goes to Fusion. I think that's Woke Corn Dog. Congrats. Good job. Woke Corn Dog. Yay. Always watching every day too, so good job. Alright, so we got Woke Corn Dog and Mameta. R26. Cool. Nice. Alright, I will message you both after the stream, so good job. Okay, so we are coming off of these negative 200 in Delta. There was quite a few lots in this circled inflection point off the value area high, so you could be retesting this value area high / volume point of control and bouncing to the upside here. I'd use this as a defender entry long potential and don't go below that 781. All entertainment only, but theoretically, do we hold this character as support? What is ES doing? ES has some static orders to the upside, also indicating continuation. Again, we didn't hit the, what do you call it? We hit the high, the yesterday's high, but we didn't go above it yet. So do we continue higher? Thank you for the support, guys, though. Always a pleasure. Let's see if this little node, this inflection point at 783-ish holds for a bounce potential. Delta slingshot to the upside for 500, Alex. Oh, there's a 91% off on Bulenox if you're looking for something cheap. Yeah, it looks like it's going to sweep the highs. Let's just see if the theoretical long is true. We had the wick of the hourly that it pushed down a little bit for a downward push. Does it continue to rip to the upside? The hourly was pretty strong. You created a gap here. That gap could maintain as it goes up, or at least test the high. Let's go see how the momentum is. It's holding the cloud on the 32nd. You had a money bag, which is like a Chaikin money flow divergence, and the money flow as well. So you had two money flow hidden bullish there. Hidden bullish divergence. Divergence. And yeah, just pulling off the value area high. You had another opportunity off that node too, so it came back not once but twice, but didn't go below that. Yeah, it's always going to be one or the other. They're kind of like geysers. Like you look at one and then one's going to blow while it's pulling back to stop everyone. This will be massive if it holds. We'll just stay for the next 15-minute candle close, and then we'll bid you adieu. Yeah, that looks like it was just a stop out, and then if it continues, it could rip. Yep. Inflection point for the win. Yeah, that was kind of where they had a battle at the end of the hour. So there was hundreds of contracts exchanged right there. So if that's going to be where they find a point of interest, that's where whoever's on sides wins. Seven more minutes till the 15 candle close. It's at that 786 region of the pullback. Let's see. Do not hold below 781. That would be bad. Do 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 do. Looks like the trap could be the opposite way now. That's why theoretically you have minimal risk to potential reward, and you should have paid on one and left the runner anyway. And that's where you would have been stopped at break even on the runner. Theoretically. And that's where math is interesting, because even just looking at this, I could see that that was a pocket of the math. There's a 706 pull up. Now we're at the super trend. That was a sweep of the lows. Could be a manipulation, and then boom, boom, be-doo. do, do. Well, it could just stay within this channel. It's been that way since 10 minutes before the hourly close, trying to play with these wicks. If I had to make a prediction, I would say sweeping the wick of the previous hour at least and going to the point of interest at 836 and finish the job on sweeping the highs thoroughly. If you're going to have a reversal, it would be up in those regions, true reversal, but what do I know? I'm just a dude. Again, we're back above that inflection point. It went slightly below, grabbed 200 and sell side came back, so they went and cleared out any longs that were over leveraged, and then now they're back to where they started. There's another group of sellers entering here. 92 lot at 794.50 just entered with the 254 lots at 797, which it's currently rewarding. So we're flirting with the idea of rewarding. If it comes above the 797.50, you could be punishing some of these sellers some more. If not, sellers are trying to step up to the plate right now as we speak. So coming above the 797.75-ish region will tell you if they're going to get punished or not. I'd say they're about to get punished and sweep up to the 825s where there's some more resting orders up there, but we will see as time will tell. And on that note, I will bid you adieu. The 15-minute has closed, so I will sign off as promised. So stay blessed, stay positive, stay frugal, and have a good weekend.